I feel like you guys keep trying to distract people with Iraq, but I'm focusing on other things, namely the moon. Yes, I said it, the moon. Can't be distracted. What's going on with the war? What's wrong with the economy? Stop worrying about that. I got that under control. Y'all focus on space, nigga. United States of Space. I ain't stopping at the moon. Write this down. M-A-R-S, Mars bitches. That's where we are going. Mars.
Yo, but whatever, we in here. We back. Timewasterz Audio is back. Brought to you by the Timewasters. I'm your host, Kyle. With me is Trey and Chris. We're back.
Yep.
I claimed host because I've been fighting for this for a long time. We finally made it, y'all. We're back. The audio is back. So very happy to bring the
I didn't know it was
Timewasterz
like
podcast
that.
back. Yo, I've been fighting for this for a very long time.
Is the mutiny over?
Who have you been fighting?
What mutiny?
This
There's
is
no
the first
mutiny.
I've heard.
It's just a thing that's occurred, Trey.
It's just a thing? Now is it? Oh,
it's
you
just
are
a
the
thing.
captain now?
I am the captain now.
You are the captain now?
Yes, I'm the captain, and you can be my trusty first mate.
Oh my
and
god,
Chris
I
can
hate
be
you. Can I at least tell you guys why I decided to bring back why the show is called the Chit Chat? Why I didn't bring it back to like our old shows like Spotlight, Wasting Time with the Timewasters, all that stuff, because this isn't just a Timewasters podcast. This is a more general podcast, so I can post it in multiple places and have multiple guests, different people. That way I don't have to, just rely on you guys, because I know real life gets busy. And I can just pick up a random hobo on the street, just be like, "Hey, we talking about shit."
To be fair, that'd probably be better content.
We would
that
get
random
a
hobo
lot
got thoughts.
of listens. You
Just
just brought in
random
homeless
hobos.
people. You should bring in homeless people and eat food in front of them.
Yo,
Kyle,
damn.
Kyle, for real?
Oh my god.
For real?
I'm the captain now.
This man, I fucking can't.
All right, but no, let's try to get some sort of actual introduction. Welcome to the Chit Chat. My name is Trey Price.
Is that what we've decided on?
That is the name of this
Chit Chat.
podcast. Just the Chit
The
Chat.
name,
man,
yeah,
'cause we
Trey
said
named
it's
it.
the
He's the
Chit
one
Chat.
that brought it.
I'm real upset. I was host for all of a minute.
You were. It was a good minute.
That's what I thought. I thought it was a great minute. That was my sample tape. I thought I had what it took.
that was the pilot. It's like,
I'm
hey,
sorry. I'm sorry that production
My
did.
name is Kyle. I'll be reading for the role of host.
I don't know. It's not like I created Tios or anything like that. I don't know.
You
It's not
did
like
create Tios. Tios was a great show. Nobody's taking Tios away from you. Tios was a great show.
Tios
good
took
show.
itself away from me.
Tios took itself away. Tios was a good show.
It was a really. It was your show.
Yeah, welcome
It
to
was.
Tios.
It's just a secret Tios reunion and just guest starring
Yay.
Trey. You know.
True.
Talking about it though. Since we brought it up, the one thing I really loved about Tios that separated itself from the rest of our shows was that intro. I really loved that intro.
That intro was dope. I was
Who
very
knew
proud
Chris
when
could
I
actually
made that.
play
That
a
was nice.
ukulele? That was crazy. I didn't know.
Oh man, let me bring down the gain a little bit. There we
Oh,
go.
you gotta rip that gain up.
Just
We doing
doing
all the
it.
laundry. You pour that whole gain in there, son.
oh my god, that's awful. You are the worst. But no, so the Chit Chat is pretty much a conversational podcast with us three, or whoever. Honestly, it's like a rotating thing. It doesn't have to be me hosting. Kyle can host, and he can do what he loves, and that is bringing me down several pegs. But no, but we do have just random topics that we decided, hey guys, we want to talk about this stuff because we do it before streams when we rip on each other. We decided to just bring it back. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was Rooster Teeth.
Rooster Teeth. All right. So we're talking about, for be more a little specific, we're talking about Genlock. Which is a new anime-esque show that is produced by Rooster Teeth. It's an interesting little thing coming from the company that made RVB and I guess Ruby. They're really stepping up in that world, and as a total Rooster Teeth mark, I think Genlock is one of these shows that's just so interesting. At first, I want to talk about just not the characters as much as the people in this show. Like, they're not people known necessarily for voice acting, but their billing is insane for this anime.
They just got money. I would also like to point out real quick, I have not actually seen Genlock yet, but I'm just very excited that Rooster Teeth, when they brought out Red vs. Blue, I was like, oh, that's a funny YouTube show, like, whatever. And then when they went to Ruby, I was like, oh, they're really trying to, like, jump into anime. I'm glad they stuck with it. This shit seems good.
I didn't like Ruby at all, and I never really watched.
What is wrong?
I didn't like it. I didn't like the voice acting. I didn't like the animation style. It's very low budget, and you know they've come a long way.
Because they were low budget. When Ruby first started, they were incredibly low budget. It was like 4 people working on this show.
And it's true. That's true. But like coming from like, because it came from like the Monoyum stuff, right? Like the whole Dead Alive. That stuff looked good, and I know it's using other assets in order to make those cool things. But then coming off of that, and then coming on to this, where it's like weird facial animation and like the characters, I didn't really get into the character. Nothing really hooked me. Whereas this, and I know I'm a little biased, this got mixed. So I was
just a tad
ready to jump into this one. And like Kyle said, there's like amazing voice acting. Like David Tennant is in here as pretty much this like mad scientist doctor.
Ida-san? Miss Valentina. Specialist Sinclair, welcome to the Anvil. So good to finally meet you all in person.
That's a hell of a way to say hello.
That's nothing. Wait till you see what he does to you next.
I was joking.
He wasn't.
Imagine the dude that makes the Lancelot in Code Geass, but with David Tennant's voice. And he's amazing. Like, I think he's the best voice actor out of everybody here. Michael B. Jordan's in it as your main character, and his voice acting is a little weird at times.
Well, see, that's the cool thing about it is their billing.
Yeah,
it's Michael B. Jordan loves anime. They reached out to him and was like, "Hey, do you want to be
that's
part of this
different.
Product?" And he's the executive producer.
Yeah, that's different. Michael B. Jordan doesn't count. Only because they obviously have to pay him a certain amount because he's Michael B. Jordan, but he would have done it for peanuts.
Yeah,
this man actually loves anime. But where'd they get this money for these other people?
Well, you gotta think they make movies and stuff too. Like they made Laser Team.
They've made 2 movies. They have Bloodfest. They have another movie that came out. They have a TV show. Ruby is huge in Japan. Like it's one of the top animes.
So here we go. Tell me this. I know that they are involved with, but are they in charge of that slow-mo? Is it slow-mo guys or whatever it is? That one.
Gavin Free, the guy who made slow-mo guys, created slow-mo guys so he could get a visa to come work in the United States for Rooster Teeth.
Wow,
that is the actual story. Because as I said, I'm a Rooster Teeth mark. I got all the info.
But so Rooster Teeth owns that like series. Then then they're making tons of money.
But
because that shit does views.
Yeah, it's on
like
the top
I don't
10
even know
on
why.
YouTube.
Yeah, I don't even know why, but I watch that shit for just random reasons.
I watch it all
like
the
it's
time.
not even. It's just they're doing shit like here's a water balloon. We're gonna cut it in slow mo and that's it. There's nothing else. But for some reason, it's so captivating. Like they have really struck gold.
So you got to think. Let's
break
it. We'll take it a couple steps back to explain some of the things. Rooster Teeth, in of itself, as a company, has a bunch of shows out there. They have under their umbrella 5 Let's Play channels, more or less.
Crazy.
2 main shows. They're releasing movies. Genlock's out. They have their first system, which subscription service to get stuff on their channel. They do 3 conventions a year, one in Austin where they're based, one in London, one in Australia. Sell out all the time. One of their Let's Play channels just did a 3-show live tour in Australia last week. Sold out all of them. Rooster Teeth is huge, yet it's one of those things that a lot of people don't know about. Like I was going through, just to round out the voice actors, you got Michael B. Jordan, Maisie Williams, who's Arya in Game of Thrones, Dakota Fanning, who I thought dropped off, but I guess she's back, David Tennant. So you have these people, and like people like Maisie post on Instagram when it comes out, they're like, look at this thing I'm a part of, Genlock, and people are like, what the fuck's Rooster Teeth? So it's one of the biggest media creators that you've never heard of.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So this show, Genlock, the animation's still a little sketchy. The voice acting, still a little sketchy. But at the same time, most of the voice actors are people who don't voice act. They're actors.
They act. Yeah.
So this is their first jump into voice acting, whereas David Tennant is he's a talent. I mean,
The man's the man's a god. He's
it is
he
what
can
it
do
is.
anything.
But I think it's going to be just like Ruby, where if you watch the first season, you're like, ooh, this is rough. Whereas Genlock is miles beyond where Ruby was when it started, but it's also going to be rough. And I think it's one of those shows that's just going to get better and better with each episode, with each season, and it's just going to keep going.
See, all right, and to your point, it is like the first 2 episodes isn't much rough to me, as whereas this it's honestly better than a lot of anime that's coming out. If I'm being real serious, like there's like the plot, the whole story that goes behind it. I'm not even gonna say like a lot about it because I want, you know, if you're listening and you want to go see it, there's some good stuff that like good sci-fi type things going on in the show itself. It's I don't know, man. It's got me. It's got me from the jump. Like and that's the thing that comes back to the thing that people say when you're talking to somebody and they say, "Oh man, you should watch this." So like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you should watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Just give it a season and then it'll be good. I hate that. I hate that with a passion. This from the jump got me. I'm in there like swimwear. So I don't know. Take that for what it is, I guess.
I mean, I'm not against that though. Like I can understand what you're saying, but I've never been against that. Like watch the first season, trash, but after the first season it gets real good. It's like, okay, so first season they're probably setting up story, they're probably showing off characters. It goes real slow, but then it jumps into it because you know all that stuff now, so they can just get to the action. I'm fine with that. It's if it's just bad that it gets me.
See, I'm with Trey because a while ago, even just a couple years ago, you could get away with that. You could be the first season's building, we're getting in. Today, there's so much content out. I don't have time for you to slow roll me. Like, you got to get me in the first 2-3 episodes, or I'm done. Because there's something else out there I want to watch that's probably, you know, and that could be the greatest show ever, and it doesn't matter. I'm sorry, I don't have the time to give you what I once would. So the fact that they grab you in the beginning, I think, is very important. My only and it's not an issue. It's just kind of this weird disclaimer, warning, whatever you want to say, is the first episode's free for everyone. It's on their website. I don't think it's on YouTube. I think it might just be on their website. But everything else, if you want to watch the show, it's behind the Rooster Teeth paywall. So you need to become a first member to watch the show. It's not on Netflix. It's not on Amazon.
Yep.
It's not on Crunchyroll. Now, if you're a Verve member, you can watch it because you get Rooster Teeth first with Verve.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's one of those things. So you have this amazing talent in Michael B. Jordan and stuff like that. And I find it interesting that he decided to put his voice acting into a show that isn't going to reach the broadest audience because it's an obscure, not mainstream streaming site, and that's kind of an interesting thing to think about.
I just like.
Oh no, go ahead, Chris.
I just think it's a little weird that they did it that way, just because I'm not used to. I mean, it's not. It's. So what's the animation like? Is it an actual anime like drawn, or is it their 3D pseudo anime sort of
3D
thing?
It's their 3D pseudo.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
newish. I mean, it's cleaner.
And I mean, I guess regardless, I'm just like, I'm going off of what I know and what I like. And one of the things I like when it comes to streaming anime is stuff that like Crunchyroll does, and I guess Verve in certain senses. I guess it depends on which, like whether you're looking at Funimation or Crunchyroll or whatever. Where it's like, if there's a new episode, if you're a subscriber, you get it when it comes out, or like in the next 24 hours. If you're not, you get it next week, or you have to wait a certain bit, but you get it. With this, it sounds like you only get the first episode unless you sub to them.
Yep.
Or unless you're subbed on Verve. And I'm not a big fan of that. But I guess it is
but
their
see,
content.
That's their
they
entire
can do that.
Company structure. So
that's so weird to me.
That's how they made money. That's how they always have done it. They would release RVB a year later on YouTube.
That's so... I mean, apparently it works. It's just, that's such a weird concept for me.
Well, I mean...
In today's day and age, with how powerful these streaming services is, I agree. But at the same time, if you can do it, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Especially, if you have their audience, which is very loyal to them. They're gonna already be first subscribers. 2, they're gonna talk to their friends, be like, hey, you gotta watch this show, and probably get them to, Mom, I need to get this subscription to get, because a lot of this is aimed towards kids. So is they're gonna get their mom like, oh man, buy me this other subscription service and I'm gonna splinter off here. They're not the only ones doing this now. Like, everyone's doing this. CBS with Star Trek Discovery, CBS All Access. Only way you can watch that show.
Yeah.
DC with Young Justice season 3, which fellas, I'm watching, is
Yo.
good, but you have to have DC Universe or whatever
I'm not
their
buying
service
that.
is called.
I can't explain this.
No,
Okay,
it's so
that
dumb.
that specifically Young Justice gets me because I have this whole thing where I'm like, we have Netflix for movies, we have Hulu and TV shows. Technically, we have Hulu for TV shows mostly. We got HBO Go, which I'll give them. HBO can have its own streaming thing. HBO gets a bunch of stuff on their own, like they make their own shit. That's fine. Apart from those and maybe a few others, you don't need your own streaming service. Like I get so heated whenever I think about Disney coming out with their own thing because most
and
of
how
Disney
they're
stuff,
pulling everything off Netflix.
yeah, most of their stuff is already on Netflix and gets a shit ton of views. And I'm not gonna buy a Disney subscription to watch Disney stuff. I'm just not.
Now-
so the same thing with like CBS and some other stuff. I'm like, look, if you just put your shit on Netflix, I mean, I understand it's Netflix. Get a good deal, like work out the contract, because I understand. Like, believe me, Netflix wants your shit as much as you like want people to view it. So get a good contract, but put it on Netflix. I already have Netflix. I will watch it if it's on Netflix. And for Young Justice specifically, those 2 seasons are already on Netflix, or at least they were. They might have been moved now.
I think they might be gone.
So it's like, yeah, they might be gone now, but they were up there. So just put season 3 up there.
Yeah, before we get too far away from it, I just want to say, Rooster Teeth, one thing it does have going for it, by putting it behind this first paywall, is first is incredibly cheap compared to other services.
How much is it?
I dropped Verve because Funimation got pulled off Verve, so that's how I am. I dropped Verve, so I decided to just do a Rooster Teeth first, because I love their content. I pay $20 every 6 months. You can also just pay like $35 a year, or what is it, like $4 a month. So at max, it's like $50 for the year.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So it's incredibly cheap compared to other streaming services, and they release a crap ton of content too, not just this. They're still making Red versus Blue. It's still a thing. It still comes out. Still new seasons. They got Ruby.
Crazy
Now they got
to think about.
Genlock. They got all their Let's Play channels. They're making movies. They're making shows.
Okay, but a difference between that and like all the other stuff is in fact the content, because it is a lot of their stuff, which is very niche stuff. Whereas,
I mean,
Netflix,
it's only their
you
stuff.
pay more, but you also get a wide variation. Like Netflix, you could throw a stone and you don't know what you get. Hey, you want fucking the character from Ant-Man fighting aliens? Guess what? So what you gonna get? Michael
I can't
Payne
even
just
explain
out
to you
here, like,
how much random stuff I've seen on Netflix in the past week. Like, I went from watching a show about if you haven't seen it, The Magicians, a show about magic users and this dark fucking twisted
sci-fi
tale,
show, yeah.
into the Fire Festival documentary,
which I still haven't seen.
into what's it called? American Vandal, the mockumentary about the thing.
American Vandal's amazing.
Back into a Netflix original anime, High Score Girl, about this dude finding love over fighting games with this girl. It's Netflix has content, like it's wild. All the different genres
Netflix has
they
more
have.
content than any other thing out there. There was actually, I don't know if you guys saw it, but they spent about $12 billion last year in original content. For example, HBO spent $2. So,
and
Netflix
it
is
shows.
running
It
the
shows.
gambit.
Like they have so many new original movies, like IO. I'm about to, as soon as we finish here, and I'm gonna set up for filming later. I'm gonna be watching Russian Doll, which is the new Groundhog's Day. You die, you come back again show.
Right.
So there's a lot of crazy, kooky stuff coming out, but that's all different topic for a different time. I don't know if you're into mechs.
No,
What
I will say, I think that we can lead it into the original content, though, because one of the reasons Netflix can do that, like throw all this money at random different things and see if they stick, is because they're willing to take those chances. And I think that might be why Rooster Teeth has the following that they do, even if they're unknown, mass appeal sort of thing. If you look at their content, it's also kind of all over the place. Like, it's typical millennial games, this, that, and the other content, but now they've got Genlock with these mechs, Ruby with the... I wouldn't even know what you call it. It's like a fighting
action,
anime, but
yeah.
like
shonen
but
action,
it's like
crazy.
Yeah,
they had
it's
is a show, just throwing it out there. It was called Words, like we're talking on a podcast. This is great. It was called Hardcore Tabletop, where they got 6 people to play Monopoly with real money, and the winner of the game took all the money, and it was amazing. It was
that's the thing.
It was 6 30-minute episodes. They released it in a month and a half, once a week, and that was it. and
that
it was
sounds like some ESPN the Ocho type stuff. Like,
yeah,
that's
but it's awesome. Like it's stupid things.
But
like
that's why I think it's good, and I can understand them having their own platform for it because they want to make their own content. They don't have to worry about like mass appeal. They have their following, and they're basically like, look, you like us, and if you like what we do, give us $20 every 6 months, and we'll put out this content for you. We got movies, we got shows, we got just random one-offs,
documentaries. They do.
Yeah.
Rooster Teeth do documentaries?
Yeah. They did. Their documentaries are really cool because they really lean into their niche. Mm-hmm. So they did a documentary about Jessica Negri, like the cosplayer.
Mm-hmm. Really?
She's one of the most popular cosplayers in the world. So it was just like a day in her life. Very, very interesting. They did one about one of their founders, Gus Sorolla, was a first-generation Mexican. And with all the border stuff, they went in and they talked about his life and went through and talked about border stuff and all that. And then they have one coming out, I think, sometime this year about someone from one of their teams in San Francisco trying to break into the stand-up comedic game. So they go out. They're doing... That's the thing. They make content for everyone. You just got to find it. So it's not broad spectrum like Netflix, but it's still, for a smaller house that definitely... It has like 500 employees. They're doing ridiculous stuff.
Yeah. So last thing I'm going to say, and then we're going to move on. But the problem with all this, and again, hate to be Mr. Negative, but that's kind of my role in life, is that when you have all these things back behind a subscription wall, I have a fear that they'll get canceled because of it. So you get really into something, and this might not happen because Rooster Teeth has like a big following and things like that, but I think more of like DC with Young Justice and Marvel with their stuff and whatnot. That if you don't buy the subscription service, because I actually like a lot of their shows, like bringing it back to DC. I like Titans. I actually do like Titans, even though I thought I was gonna hate it. I like Young Justice. I don't see a lot of people buying DC Universe. So what happens when they don't? And then what? We're just not gonna get more of that stuff that's actually good, that's actually building.
Yeah.
Does it just drop?
No, these shows they're just gonna die. I think that's
super
interested to see how Disney's thing's gonna go. I'm super intrigued.
That shit's gonna flop. We already know.
See, I don't think it will. That's what's crazy. I don't think it will. Disney has too much. They're gonna put all their old animated movies on it. So if you got kids, you're getting it because that's the only way you can get them because they put those things in a vault and they only release them for like a month every 4 years. If you want to buy Little Mermaid, you better be ready in Walmart. So like, that's the only way you're gonna be able to show these films because I'm of a generation. I don't own a single DVD, Blu-ray. Anything. I got
tons.
physical copies
right there. Actually,
so they got me. If I have kids and I want to show them Hercules, I got to get their streaming service.
Not just that, but they're bringing like Netflix, bringing new content to their thing. Like with the MCU shows, I mean, Tom Hiddleston Loki show. You got the women. That's it. You got the women and some of the men. Like so. You got the Scarlet Witch show, the Vision show. I mean, they're trying to tie stuff into the bigger narrative that they have with their movies and things. So it could succeed, but then again, it's another subscription service. And at the point that you have all these subscription services, the original idea for all of this was to cut the cord, to get rid of cable. So once you have CBS, Marvel, Netflix, Hulu, guess what? You're paying more for cable. Then you add the niche stuff, Crunchyroll, Verve, Rooster Teeth's first thing. And countless of other people, your Patreons. My God, you're shilling out $100 a year almost, just on little stuff, and you can't help it because they're all separate, and you want to see this content.
No, I'm actually a little. I feel like that's a valid point, and to my note on like Rooster Teeth's take on it, I don't think that they will flop, but I think it's a valid concern that it's behind a paywall. Like Genlock sounds like it's really good from what y'all are saying, and I'd be interested, but I'm not going to pay for that subscription to watch it. And I feel like there are a lot of other people that are like that, but I think their fan base is loyal enough that it'll pay for itself over time.
They're still acquiring first members, and there's so many worldwide that they're good.
Yeah, they're good. But I think that when it comes to other services, that is actually a valid point, that when you get all of these different services, you cut the cord for cable, and you're like, I'm only going to get what I want, but you end up getting all of these, and it costs the same amount. I kind of have that same issue, but I haven't cut my cable cord yet, and I think that might actually be be the go. Like it's done a full 180. So here's the thing.
Whereas I'm the exact opposite. We have Amazon, Sling TV,
Right.
Netflix.
Right.
That's it.
So I have Amazon.
And I use Chris's HBO.
Yeah. I have Amazon, and I have Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, and then I have cable. And my cable comes with HBO, a bunch of like the Stars packages or whatever, and DVR. And so basically with my cable, all those CBS, Sci-Fi even, because the new season of The Magicians came out, it's not on Netflix. It's only on Sci-Fi. So you would have to have their streaming thing or have on demand on your cable, and I can just watch it whenever, like the second the episode's out. So I mean, I package my cable in with my internet, and I need high-speed internet anyway for what we fucking do. So I'm just gonna keep cable, honestly. I don't think I'll ever drop cable, just because anything that I find randomly on some random channel that they're like, you should get our streaming service and watch it. It's like, nah, I got cable. I'll just check the DVR in like a month because I know I have it.
You're safe from stuff like that. Like that's why I have
Yeah.
Sling. Sling gives me just enough that I can get what I need without needing those services. Now the fact that you have CW or CBS or whatever they're doing, where they have a channel on cable and they're also making a streaming service and they don't put the show on the streaming service on their actual cable channel, that's crazy to me. Like I feel like that's just not a good plan. Like
they're doing it backwards. They're doing
right.
it.
You're leaning
Right.
too heavy. I feel like any channel should be working to get you back on cable, rather than working to get you on the streaming service by taking stuff away from cable. Because for a lot of these shows, I wouldn't even know that they existed if it wasn't for seeing some commercial on TV, seeing some ad online sometimes, but seeing a commercial on TV or seeing it randomly come up on some channel. And I'm not going to get your service, so if that's where you're advertising it, like, I'm never going to see it. So
Now, I want to move on, but that brings up a really good point of how you see this stuff. Because speaking for me, like, I don't have cable, so I don't watch TV. I don't get the commercials. I pay for YouTube Red, so I don't see ads on YouTube anymore. Like, the only time I see maybe an ad is on my Facebook feed now, because, you know, your cookies, they watching you. So that's how I see stuff, you know? So that's really weird that, you know, I don't know. That's another failing.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with you, because the ads I get are so obscure. They come from weird places.
to be fair, actually, so I've been trying to be way more active on Twitter, and you know who doesn't give a fuck about your ad preferences? Twitter. So they advertised. So I started watching The Magicians, and I was super into The Magicians, right? I binged basically 3 straight seasons, hour-long episodes, like 16 episodes per season in like 3 or 4 days. I went in on that show. And then I kept getting this ad for this show on Twitter called Deadly Class, and it was like this new show that Sci-Fi's putting out.
I've seen ads for that.
Oh, it's gonna be this.
Weird.
I watched the first episode.
It's so good.
It's good.
It's so
It's
good.
good.
And I was like, for the longest time, I was like, I'm not even gonna watch this. It doesn't seem. I mean, it looks pretty interesting, but I don't need a new show. I finished The Magicians the other night, the newest season, because they only have like 3 episodes out, and I was like, let me watch.
Twitter looking
Let
at
me
you
watch
like, hey,
something
bitch.
else.
got
Yeah,
another show
basically,
for
I was
you?
like. I was like, oh man, that show was really good. Let me check Twitter, and then that ad came up again. And I was like, fuck it, you know what? I just watched the Sci-Fi series. Let's see if it's got it on here. And wouldn't you know, my cable had it in on demand, and I was like, you know what? Let me check it out. I watched the newest episodes of that shit too. It's a good show, and so I feel like if I didn't have cable, I would not have gotten a Sci-Fi if they have their own subscription thing. I would not have gotten that to watch this. I would have just waited. So I feel like they should be getting people, them specifically, should be getting people to cable. Rooster Teeth is fine getting people onto their service.
I want to move on so bad.
Disney Channel could be the best channel in the world if Disney Channel just made their channel right.
Yep.
How many times you gonna say channel?
No, all I'm saying is we don't need any more.
We don't.
Freaking Kim Possible or none of that shit. We just need you to play your Marvel movies.
Did y'all see
Like, what
that?
are we doing
We'll talk
here,
about
Disney?
action?
Yo, we'll get into that Kim Possible shit later.
sorry.
Yeah, we'll do that in another show. I got a list here. And we spent half an hour on the first bullet.
You are absolutely correct. They would need to move on because we got some betas to talk about. So it's kind of like a impromptu revival of our old show. If you old school fan of Timewasterz, the beta beaters.
The baiters.
The beaters.
The
Beta baiters.
It's like we are the master baiters.
The masturbators, yes. But
Yeah,
so there
beaters.
were two
Beaters we
demos
call
that
ourselves.
came out. Jump Force and Anthem. Guys, which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's start with Jump
I'd like
Force
to.
because we all
Yeah,
play
I
Jump
want to talk
Force.
about Jump Force first.
それは前触れもなく起きた。 強大な力を持つ別世界から現れた敵と彼らと共闘する者たちベノムズによって世界は壊滅的なダメージを負った。
今からあなたをヒーローとして蘇らせ
Wonderful.
ます。
So Jump Force, if you guys know, I mean, if you're out there and you play the video games, it's pretty much just the weeb heaven. Like, if you are a fan of any Shonen Jump manga, and I think some that aren't in Shonen Jump, because I feel like Jotaro's not in, like, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure isn't in Shonen Jump proper.
Is that in? I don't think it was in Shonen Jump.
It's probably in
but
a
he's in
Jump,
the game, so
but
Yeah.
you know, so it's in the game. But and now they've released the demo. It's pretty much a fighting game. Kyle, talk about like how the style of fighting game, because you got really into it in the 10 minutes that you played. you
That's well, real quick before he starts, that's what got me. I feel like it depends on who you are, how this is gonna affect you. Trey's a huge anime fan. He was playing it. He was like, "Oh, this is all right." I'm a huge anime fan, but not shonens as much. I played it and I was like, "Oh, I can see what they're going for." Kyle, definitely a huge anime fan, but I didn't think it was like this. Played for 10 minutes and was like, "Oh, it's a wrap. Y'all are done. This is gonna be the game." I was
So
like, yo,
it's the
damn.
same. Bandai Namco's making it, and it's pretty much, if you boil it down, it's the same fighting system that they've been using for the last 5 years in
It's gotta be near a
Naruto,
decade
Ultimate
now.
Storm
Not even
games, the One Piece games, the My Hero game. All of them is the same fighting style. This one, they've actually done some cool things though, and they've added some bits and pieces to make it more of an actual fighter, less of a button masher. You can string together more combos. The ultimates are a little simpler to use, but harder to hit unless you get them in a certain combo.
Yeah.
The animation is the weirdest thing, and I love it because these
Hard
anime characters they're using almost a quasi real, like they want them to look real but they don't, and it's weird and it's creepy and it looks like they're made out of clay that someone spit on, and it's like
That's so fucking accurate.
but it's like this is Bandai has they've made all these Naruto games. They're the ones I'm going to lean back on because they've released like 6 of them at this point, so they're the ones that have gotten updated more and more. This is almost like they've cleaned that system up and they're like, here you go, we finally finished it, it's polished, this is what it is.
I could actually even see that being the case. Like, they worked on all the Naruto games, all the One Piece games. They were like basically testing out different formulas for this type of fighting thing, and then once they got it right, they were like, okay, let's get everybody in.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think if you like fighting games and if you like anime, this is a game for you because I think they've really mixed them together. It has some, like Naruto, it has some Xenoverse. It has, like, Xenoverse in the fact that you can create your own character, Naruto in the basic fighting system. It's going to have every character in the world. It's going to have tons of new characters because they love doing stuff like that through DLC updates, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's going to have a roster that looks kind of like Smash Ultimate. It's going to be grossly huge.
Yeah.
I would actually love that. If they changed the character select, I would love like a solid 70 just random shonen anime characters.
We're eventually
from
gonna
all
get
corners.
random people in it. It's gonna be the bottom barrel show in third act. It's gonna be great.
And it's gonna
be amazing.
It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck already because there was already one person in the demos character select that I was like, who the fuck is that guy? And once they start bringing in bottom of the barrel shit, like I'll have no idea.
Kinshiro from Fist of North Star. He's like, what is Jotaro from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure doing? It's like,
But they make the character interactions weren't really interactions because they were just saying one-liners. But I played 4 matches and each one was a different like one-liner. They didn't repeat, which I thought was really interesting. So it's kind of, they made the characters have their own flavor. It's gonna have a full story. It's not just gonna be a fight.
Yep.
So that's something, because I mean, Xenoverse, as stupid of a game as they are, their stories were fun. Like, they were just stupid, fun games, and this will be very similar. Whereas, like, the Naruto games, they were just going through the manga, the anime. They were finishing that story. It wasn't a new story, whereas this one's going to be completely new story with all these characters you know and love. The fight system's clean. It's pretty crisp. They're still going to clean it up because this is still the beta. So I'm not saying it's ready yet, but I think when it releases, it's going to be very, very nice.
it's like that cookie that's in the oven, and it's like, it's a little, it's like hard on the edges, but then like the middle's like still a little sauce. You got put in there for a little. Well, I don't know how y'all like y'all cookies. Y'all like gooey cookies?
No,
like
that's actually the
gooey
most
with me?
accurate representation.
It
of
is.
it, 'cause
Like,
We're dropping some
got a
really
full-
good analogies today.
Yeah, that's a great analogy
That
because you
is
got
how-
a whole
that is the
whole
mark.
plate of cookies.
That's a mark of a good podcast coming back is when your analogies are on point. You know?
No,
didn't-
but
we
Trey,
didn't miss a
I don't think you understand how good that was. You got a whole tray of cookies, and you open up the oven, and you're like, I don't think that they're done, but let me just try this one, and it's not done, but it's gooey and it's chocolatey and it's delicious, and you're like, I can tell once they're finished, this gonna be a good cookie.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, let's be
exactly
real, the
what
game
this
comes
is.
out in 2 weeks, so what all can they really change?
That's the
But
thing. What can
that's
they
all
really
it
change at
needs
this
is a
point?
little bit of polish. They
Them
need to just whip out their
hitboxes,
duster
man.
real quick and like and the hitboxes are kind of weird, but that's
they
something
real
that's easy to fix.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like
I will
it's in
say-
the small things that they gotta fix. Now here's
Yeah,
my
like,
question
it's
for you
cool
guys.
when you hit the dodge right, the screen goes black and white, and you
I
just
didn't know
pop
how
up
to
behind
dodge.
the
I just kept
guy.
getting hit. I'm
And
not
then you
looking
just
forward-
punch
Yeah,
him in the
right.
back of the head, and he goes
This is
flying.
what we're saying. This is what we're saying. Like I said, Kyle was in for all the 10 minutes. Trey and I were in for at least 30, at least, and we were just getting rocked.
Still
Like
not
I won a match against the CPU. Their matchmaking for the demo, by the way, was trash.
Yeah.
I did not actually get into a match with other people. Trey did,
I did a
but
lot.
it kept cutting out on him.
That-
But
it did
when I
later.
played against the CPU, oh, you did later. Okay.
Yeah.
But when I played against the CPU, it was a fun match. I did win, but it wasn't like overpowering. Kyle was in for 10 minutes. We had never figured out how to block, and Kyle's out here doing some samurai shit, teleporting behind people when they attack. I couldn't figure it. I had no idea.
The
What
combat
was-
system's super easy. They're just not great at these games.
He was for real like Ichigo versus Byakuya, and it's like, you think you can try to get that sword to my neck again? Kyle's like, what's up, bitch?
Yo.
I'm
No,
so
the
mad.
game I give Jump Force demo beta comes out in 2 weeks. I think it's gonna get excellent reviews if this is the kind of game you like.
So
I
here's my
think
question.
it's still one of those niche games, and I think that's kind of where it's gonna fall.
Here's my question
Yeah.
for you guys, because I know y'all probably are into this a lot more than I am. Evo, like the fighting game tournament, shit like that. Are there a lot of anime games in that?
No,
So
No.
there are tons of anime games in it actually, but not this style, not the Bandai Namco style of fighting games. Usually Evo, if it's a 3D fighter, it's more like Tekken. If it's a 2D or like flat screen side to side fighter, it's more like Blaze Blue. There are probably going to be some like side bet areas, some free plays for this, but I don't think that you're going to see this. on
it's
the
still
big
not
stage.
technical enough. It's
Yeah.
still not
I think
technical enough for
that
Evo.
I think that you could. I don't think that you will. I feel like people, if they really push this, from what I've seen, you could take this to a level where it's super competitive. But I don't think it's gonna be for a while.
Then there you heard it first. So let's talk about the second beta that is on our list, and that is EA's Anthem. And they try to make it all stylized.
I have seen the power of the Anthem destroy entire civilizations.
You have no idea what the Heart of Rage can do to a person.
I feel a new power in the world. It's calling me.
For generations, our people struggled just to survive.
Heading out. Let's go!
The javelins allowed us to fight back again.
They did. They tried.
So this is one I did not get to play because while you two were playing it, I was playing Jump Force. But I did get to watch some of the stream.
You did see it for a bit, yeah.
It looks like Mass Effect Andromeda got cleaned up and re-released with a mech.
Yeah.
And I'm not
So-
saying that's necessarily a bad thing because I said it got cleaned up.
Hold on. When did they announce Anthem? Was it before or after, Mass Effect Andromeda
After.
flopped?
It
was
af-
after
No, it
it
wasn't
flopped?
after it flopped.
Oh,
it
yeah,
was,
but
it was
after.
very close to when it was released. They were like, here we... Because
Okay.
from what I
okay, 'cause I'm-
recall, it was like Andromeda was released in like March, and then the following E3, they said Anthem was coming out.
They
So there was
said
maybe
Anthem.
a month.
Okay, because I was going to say, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if this was literally just a cleaned up Andromeda. They were like, look, we can't save this game, but let's take what we did with it, clean it up, make a new game off of it, and like
You know,
if you
Anthem
want,
was
you
in
can be mad at that.
development before Andromeda
Yeah,
came
it was
out. Because
it was in development long
Yeah.
before,
So
but it definitely does have that feel.
as I
Oh, yeah.
recall, and I might be wrong about this, so please correct me if I'm wrong, fact checkers. But didn't they say that Andromeda had like the BD team or the C team on it?
No,
and
they pulled all of BioWare's top people, and they were working on Anthem, and they let everyone else play with Mass Effect.
So,
which, I mean, isn't a bad move from a developer, but at the same time, Mass Effect being the beloved franchise it was, wouldn't you have... Yeah, I had to... really was. Wouldn't you have your A-team working on that? But at the same time, I mean, Anthem has potential. From what I saw, it looks fun. It looks like you guys enjoyed yourself flying around, shooting things.
For real, yeah. Like, and if it's really... And that was, indicative of the demo, because, when you get into the actual game, you're not just playing with 4 Rangers. And I guess another one, because I swear to God, that looked like the Ranger.
That dude was doing different shit.
I'm so mad.
It wasn't a Ranger. It was the Warlock.
How the fuck do I get my big red? Anyway, but that's gonna be it's gonna be a whole different experience that could be a lot more fun. But again, I don't want this to end up to be like the Destiny thing where me, Chris, Malcolm, we got the Destiny day one. We was in there, and then I got bored real fast. Real fast. I want to get bored real fast again. This thing be on the shelf.
What sucks is I want to be able to tell you that that's not what it's gonna be like. But having
EA's
played,
Destiny. It's EA's Destiny.
Having played and still play Destiny, and having just played this demo, it's Destiny. It's EA's Destiny. Like, that's what it is. It's not even like oh, it took hints from Destiny and did. No, they made Destiny again. And a lot of people might, if you're listening to this, you might take that as well, why should I buy this when I can get Destiny? There are differences, but this is Destiny. It just is.
You're gonna play through an okay story, and then you're gonna be doing a lot of matchmaking missions and grinding for cool weapons and gear
over and over again.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's a super long, beautiful, drawn out story. But because that's what BioWare is. Good storyteller, okay game developer.
But this is my thing though. Even if it is, and again, I'll tell you this: Bungie, I think, are good at single player stories, or at least historically they have been. Obviously, with Halo and a bunch of other stuff, they're good at single player stories. Point A to point B, you get the whole story, you're done, and then they do an online matchmaking where story has nothing to do with it. With Destiny, they tried to make basically an MMO, but not. That was their problem. I think if Anthem leans heavy into the fact that it is going to be an MMO, or they're calling it shared world shooter, it's an MMO. It's an MMO with guns. Like, it's an MMO with guns.
I love the new genres that these developers are
that just pop up.
I love it so much.
It's an MMO with
because you can't call everything an action RPG anymore, so they're like, all right, what do we got?
No. But so it's like if they lean heavy into that, and if people go in understanding that that's what they're getting, no matter how long this story is, no matter how beautiful it is, at some point you'll hit the end of that story, and then you're grinding to do those missions again. So you just need to realize that if you want to buy this game, play through the whole story, and then be done with it. I honestly think if BioWare sticks to what they used to do with stories, it'll be worth the money and more. Like, that'll be great. But if you want to keep playing it for the long haul, you just need to understand you're really just trying to get better weapons. You're trying to increase one number here and there, and then play the same missions over and over again.
Chris, I appreciate it.
And also customize your look. It's all about that fashion in the end. That's
and the
how
mechs looked cool. You guys were in beginner mechs, and they looked really pretty.
They do,
yeah.
And they feel real nice. Like, they feel real nice to control and shit like that. Like,
I've never felt so good.
That's the
flying
thing.
around in
like,
a mech.
We talk about being Destiny and all this stuff, but I could see myself playing this game. And again, that's that bias.
So that's
my mech bias.
But that's the thing. Bias. I think that it's not even the mech bias. It's the fact that this is Destiny, and I'll say that till the day. I will say that about Anthem till the day I die. But Destiny
until it comes out and it's not Destiny.
Well, no.
Somehow.
So it is. It is Destiny. But since Destiny came out first, they had the chance to look at that and go, what could we add to this? And that's what they did. Flying around in that mech, the controls for how you shoot and everything, it feels a lot better than Destiny ever has. And the fact that
Destiny's one thing it's got going for it. It's its gunplay. You think Anthem felt better?
So that's the thing. Their weapons in Destiny, having played it, weapons in Destiny feel good. And the creativeness that they have with a lot of their weapons are amazing. Like, Destiny literally just came out in their newest expansion with their newest raid. There's a weapon called the... I can't remember the name of it. But basically, it's a grenade launcher where the grenades hit the ground, and as they hit the ground, they make a link of electricity. So if you shoot 3 of them, all those links come together, and that entire field is electrified. So anybody in there is
grenade
dead.
launcher.
Arc grenade launcher, but you're making an electric field, and you can change the shape depending on where you shoot these grenades. That's clever. I think that that's really cool. If Anthem has shit like that, Anthem will beat Destiny, hands down. Like, one of the.
So
best
you're saying
things
if
that Destiny
Anthem is on par with Destiny, it'll be better
Anthem
than
beats
Destiny.
Yes. That is a fact.
From someone who plays Destiny and then played half an hour of Anthem, I find that to be an incredibly interesting hot take.
Look, I have put hours and hours.
That's what I'm
into
saying.
Destiny.
I was like,
I've played all the raids. I've played all the raids now. I was doing like high level stuff. I've reached max level on my character. If Anthem can be as creative as Destiny, here we go. Here's the big thing. Have characters that feel important, because that's something that Destiny does have. All of the characters, everyone has like an emotional attachment with, even if it's like anger. Like, there's one character in Destiny where basically you take any random rolls that get dropped during a mission, you go to this guy and he decrypts that random roll into an item. Everybody fucking hates that guy because of the RNG, he gives you garbage shit. But we all, like, if you say his name, everyone knows him because they all fucking hate him. Even if it's at that level, as long as Anthem sticks to, like, having interesting characters, good, like, audio, voice acting, all of this shit, good cutscenes, good weapons, interesting weapons, good areas, they'll be better than Destiny. This will be a huge fucking game for them.
You know what? You know what I really want? I really want everybody to take a page out of Ubisoft's book with the Far Cry series and just give me a really good villain. Give me a really good, interesting, like, Voss Pagan Min villain.
Their villain from the trailer, the Anthem villain, looks
generic.
like the main villain from The Witcher in a mech suit.
Yo.
Just saying.
Oh my
but,
God, who that is.
I think that's so interesting, Chris, because this game, I feel like we've talked about it. We haven't really talked about it in a public forum as much, but we've talked about it, and every time we've talked about it, we've been like, oh, Anthem.
So that's the thing. I wasn't interested.
So interesting.
So I wasn't interested at all, and I'll admit this. When I saw the trailers, when I saw video of the gameplay, when I saw one of the biggest things was that teaser that they showed at either last E3 or the E3 before. I can't remember.
It was 2 E3s ago.
Yeah, where they have that dude, he jumps off of the tower, immediately flies, goes into the water. You're seeing all this stuff. I'm like, I'm seeing this, and it looks pretty, but this isn't actual gameplay. Like, this looks like you recorded this whole sequence to show us, like, what could be. It's not like this is in the game right now. And to be fair, a lot of what was in that trailer, you can go on YouTube right now and find any number of things. A lot of what was in that trailer is not in the demo that they gave us, so I can't say for sure if it'll be in the game. But the way that they moved in that trailer, the way that the gunplay worked, the way that the skills worked, that's all in this demo. You play this demo today, you're seeing all of that. So if they can add the rest of the stuff that was in that trailer, then I can't even argue. When I looked at that trailer, I was like, it looks like they're just trying to remake Destiny and give out a bunch of promises. Most of this stuff's not going to be there. But if it's there, like they're saying, it's a wrap. Like, I would not be surprised if a lot of people moved over from Destiny onto this.
So it being an EA game, this is just the word of wisdom. Do not buy day one. Do not pre-order. Be an intelligent buyer.
That is a fact.
Watch the reviews. Play this beta. Even though I don't know, this podcast will probably come out after the beta's over because I'm pretty sure it's just this weekend. I don't know how
Most
quick Dre's
likely.
turnaround will be.
If they
Hopefully
put out a
the
demo
May,
later,
the
try
day
it.
after.
But I think it'll be done.
Well, yeah, that's, honestly, I look at that as a huge endorsement. I'll be completely honest. I think that's, at least for me personally, knowing you, us being friends and talking and working together and all that shit, I find that to be a huge endorsement because I thought you would be the biggest critic of Anthem trying to be a game like Destiny that I know you love.
What time is it? About an hour and a half ago, I was, and then I played that beta. Honestly, I can't even be mad at him. Like, I played it and I was like, this feels really fucking good. Like, I'm a little scared for all that time I put into Destiny because I'm gonna leave all that shit behind. Like,
really,
it looks and feels really good. As long as I'm not gonna get it day one because again, EA and just in general, people, like, unless you know something is gonna be good, don't do that shit. I don't pre-order that much anymore because who knows what's gonna fucking happen. But as long as they can deliver on these promises, I think I might give up Destiny for this.
Well, then here's just a selfish question, as someone who likes to think of the content we create as a show and all that stuff. as another squad shooter coming out pretty soon, The Division 2. We haven't played a beta for that. We've just seen, once again, trailers, things of that nature. Where's Timewasterz going with you two playing this, knowing that game's coming out? You two are the vote. What game would you get?
Here's my thing. If we, for me personally, if we as Timewasterz were like, hey, we can either play Anthem or we can play The Division, I would want to play The Division. But on a personal level, if we weren't...
Chris is all over the place right now.
If we were on a personal level, if we weren't doing it for Timewasterz and you were like, Chris, you can only get 2 games. You can either get Anthem or you can get The Division. I would get Anthem. Because I know that I can have more fun alone in Anthem than I would in The Division. But if we're playing together, we would have more fun in The Division than we would in Anthem. That's a definite.
What do you got, Trey?
Honestly, man, for both of those, they're games that they take a lot of in time, and I don't really have a lot of in time. So
you're gonna have to quit a job or two.
Okay, all right, well, there. Hey, client, that video I had for you? Nah, man, Anthem out. So, but in I had a lot more fun with The Division than I did with Destiny, and knowing us playing with the thing, I think we'll have a lot more fun with The Division rather than Anthem. But man, it's got the mechs, and I would really like to play the mechs. But that story trailer looked very generic, with your villain not really looking. And I really want to.
Well, then this is actually super cool because for people who don't know, Anthem comes out February 22nd. The Division 2 comes out March 15th. The beauty of this is if you wait till the week after the Division 2 drops, you'll have all the information you need on those 2 games to pick which one you want.
Yeah,
that is also true.
And then we can start whichever. Yep,
that is actually true. Yes.
So this is kind of my word of advice to anyone who will listen to this illustrious, beautiful podcast and enjoys playing video games. Stop buying things early. Take your time. Wait for price drops. Who cares? There's no reason. There's no more fear of missing out on these games because these games are games of service, as they say now. They're going to get released, and they're going to be better 6 months than the day you buy them.
Yeah. Guaranteed.
Every time. So at this point, even though Chris did give a glowing review for the 15 minutes he played Anthem, but
it was good.
You wait till they come out. You get all the information. We're not qualified to tell you what to buy. We just like telling you what we like. So
like if anything, I feel like that lends more heavily to what you're saying. I gave a great review for 15 minutes or so that I played at this game. I'm gonna wait like shit. Like I'm not buying that thing day one.
No,
I ain't got the
buy
money,
that thing third month. Maybe.
Yeah, right?
Like when you see what their first update is, how much they're charging for DLC, how much DLC
basically
they're going to have.
Oh, my God. And then most importantly, some of the microtransactions. If you look on YouTube looking for videos, those microtransactions, they just put out like an example of what it would look like. And people were like, yo, those prices are too much, son. I should not have to pay a third of the game for some armor. Like,
because that's my shit. Like, with how Destiny broke down, is they're like, here's this game. Oh, we're going to give you a second one. It's $60, y'all, or $40 or whatever it was. I'm like, no,
it's a lot.
I'm not buying your game again. This is bullshit.
Yep.
So
it's a lot. It's a more than anything. It's like it's such a commitment that these companies are asking from us to put down this much money on something that's, especially when it comes to Destiny. Because again, I play Destiny. I like Destiny, but this is ridiculous. Where you'll pay $40 and they're like, okay, so for that $40, we've got a whole ton of content for you that's going to stretch around the entire year. But it's like, when you look at the actual calendar, you're paying $40 today to get one event next week and then another event 3 months from now. Like, that's a lot of commitment for all these other games that are going to come out in the year, and I'm dropping all this money to get one thing right now.
Yeah,
it's just a lot.
It's weird. It's just kind of, it's on topic yet off topic. The gaming industry is so interesting because it's almost like they see Fortnite, and not in the fact that we want to make battle royales, but they see people, they just play one game every day.
Yeah.
They don't play it, so they want to be that game. That's not how most gamers play games.
That's like, not even like a significant amount of gamers do that. I don't know anyone that's like, oh yeah, I play Fortnite. Oh, what else do you play? Fortnite, like only Fortnite every day.
Like,
nothing
this is
else.
an example.
Like, no
I
one
was
does
behind
that.
the curve personally, but like I picked up Monster Hunter maybe a month ago, maybe a month. I don't know. I can't remember. I streamed
something
it,
like
watch
that.
it.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I played it, and I played it every other day as my main game for a month and a half, and then I stopped because I got bored. That's how it works.
That's how that works normally.
So the fact that these games are like, here's our 2-year plan or 3-year plan or 5-year plan, I'm not really in for that. Like, I'm not.
I don't. Like, I'm glad that you have this planned out. I don't know if I'll be here in 3 weeks, and you're planning 3 years of content. Like, that seems like a lot.
I'm gonna buy this game for $60, and I'm gonna play it until I feel like I got $60 worth. And then if it's super fun, I'll keep playing. And if I'm done, I'm not gonna feel bad. So
no.
Yeah.
That's why actually, like, I bought Red Dead Redemption. I played that on like online with you guys, and then I played the first section of the story. And honestly, I feel like I got my money's worth. It was very interesting. I have it if I want to go back and play it, but I don't. But I don't need.
Have you finished Red Dead yet, Trey?
No, not yet. No.
See, I'm working on it too. It's one of those games I keep leaving and coming back to.
It's a big,
but that's the thing. That's
what
I paid for with Red Dead. It was the same with Grand Theft Auto. That's what I paid for when we got Grand Theft Auto. I was like, I know I'm gonna drop this for a while, but it's here if I need it, like, to come back to.
Yeah.
But it is a big meal. It's hard to sit down and just do that.
Yeah, and just grind through it. Like, that's a lot.
All right. Well, and that's all our topics we got going on. I might do some interesting things later on. Bring in like a crazy question at the end of the show or something like that. I don't fucking know. But for right now,
Trey's crazy question of the month.
Exactly.
Waddle doodle.
That'd be good.
I don't say waddle doodle, but that's about to be my catchphrase.
You say that all the fuck.
Shut up.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
So that was the chit chat. Thank you guys for being here to chit chat with us. So check out our YouTube. If you like us, leave us a comment, subscribe, ring that bell, hit the notifications. Go to our Facebook. Make sure you go to our Twitch, where we be streaming on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. To see if you want to know what game we end up getting, go ahead and ring that bell for notifications there too. And join us, talk to us. We love talking to y'all people, and maybe even play with us. You never know what happens. But yeah, that's it for me. Pieces.
Yeah, this is fun. Podcasts are back. What up, y'all?
What's good?
I did it.
He did it. It was a long road.
Just me, Kyle. Put the game on my shoulders. Podcasts are back.
I am the captain now. All right, peace.
You're still here. It's over.